The snow fell like it had been holding back for years, thick and unrelenting, turning the empty street into a silent confessional. Jordan's breath hitched against my lips, his hands fisting my jacket as if letting go would unravel everything we'd built in secret. In that moment, under the flickering street lamp, I knew our endless fights weren't hatred. They were the only way we'd ever touched the truth. I pulled back first, my heart slamming like a drum in my chest, the cold biting at my cheeks where his warmth had just been. Jordan's eyes, those sharp green ones that always pinned me during arguments, searched mine now with something softer, broken open. "Alex," he whispered, voice rough from the wind, or maybe from whatever this was. "I can't pretend anymore." But pretending was all we'd ever done, back in the fluorescent hell of Elmwood High, where every hallway clash felt like a battlefield, and our friendship was the minefield no one else could see. It started in sophomore year, that fall when the leaves turned the quad into a postcard of reds and golds. But our rivalry turned it into war. Jordan Hayes was the golden boy, captain of the debate team, straight A machine with a smile that disarmed teachers and a laugh that made girls blush from across the cafeteria. I was Alex Rivera, the kid from the wrong side of town, scraping by on scholarships and sarcasm, with a sketchbook full of half-drawn dreams and a chip on my shoulder the size of my mom's unpaid bills. We butted heads in English Lit, over everything from Shakespeare sonnets to the ethics of Huck Finn. "You're romanticizing rebellion," he'd say, leaning back in his chair like he owned the room, that infuriating smirk tugging at his lips. I'd fire back, "And you're just parroting Dad's playbook, safe, predictable, zero soul." The class ate it up, calling us the dynamic duo of discord, but each barb landed like a hook in my gut because, deep down, I envied how effortlessly he navigated the world I tripped through. Our fights spilled out of class, too. Lunchtime debates over the best indie band. Him defending some polished alt-rock, me championing raw punk that scraped like gravel on your heart. We'd end up laughing, though, shoulders brushing as we walked to the parking lot. Him in his pristine Subaru, me on my beat-up bike chained to the fence. That's when the real talks happened, under the radar. "You ever feel like you're acting a part?" I'd ask, pedaling beside his slow crawl down the street. He'd glance over, wind tousling his hair, and say, "Every damn day. But hey, at least we're good at it." It was our code, those late afternoons fading into dusk, sharing secrets we'd never voice in daylight. Like how his parents expected perfection, how mine barely noticed I existed amid the chaos of her night shifts. Or the heavier stuff, the whispers about who we really were, the boys we'd crushed on from afar, the fear of what coming out would shatter. By junior year, the arguments sharpened, laced with something electric I couldn't name. We joined the school newspaper, him editing op-eds, me illustrating with gritty cartoons that poked at the status quo. Our cubicle became ground zero. "This caricature makes the principal look like a fascist clown," he'd huff, tossing my sketch across the desk. "Good. Truth hurts," I'd retort, snatching it back, our fingers brushing just long enough to spark. Mrs. Hargrove, our advisor, would sigh and mutter about channeling our passion into the layout, but she didn't see the undercurrent, the way his gaze lingered when I bent over the drafting table, or how I'd catch myself staring at the curve of his jaw during meetings. Friends noticed, though. Tyler, my best friend since middle school, pulled me aside one rainy October afternoon in the locker room after gym. Water dripped from his curls as he leaned against the bench, towel slung low. "Dude, you and Jordan, it's like watching a rom-com scripted by Hemingway. All that tension." I laughed it off, punching his arm too hard. "Tension? It's called mutual annihilation." But Tyler's eyes narrowed, that knowing glint from the kid who'd figured out he was by before any of us. "Sure, keep telling yourself that." He was out, proud, dating a senior from the drama club, while I buried my confusion under layers of denial. "Jordan?" He played it straighter than a ruler, flirting with cheerleaders at pep rallies, but I'd seen him falter, the way his smile dimmed when his dad grilled him about college scouts over family dinners he vented about in our car rides. Prejudices simmered beneath Elmwood's polished surface. Our town, nestled in the snowy hills of upstate New York, prided itself on progressive values. But the rainbow flags on Main Street wilted under whispers. Last spring, when the GSA Club pushed for a Pride Assembly, The school board dragged its feet, citing parental concerns. Jordan and I covered it for the paper, me sketching protest signs, him writing the lead article that danced around the bigotry without naming it. Coward, I teased, inking a caricature of the superintendent as an ostrich with its head in the sand. He snatched the pen, our hands overlapping. Realism, Alex. Not everyone can afford to burn bridges. His voice was low, frustrated, and for a second, the newsroom faded, leaving just us, inches apart, the air thick with unsaid things. Winter crept in early that year, November frosting the windows before Halloween candy was gone. Our arguments hit fever pitch during the holiday issue crunch. Deadline eve, snow flurrying outside the empty school. We were the last ones in the newsroom, pizza boxes strewn like casualties. Your headline's trash. Festive feuds? It's clickbait for conservatives, I grumbled, crossing it out. Jordan leaned over my shoulder, close enough I smelled his cedar cologne mixed with pepperoni. And yours? Winter woes? Sounds like a bad country song. We devolved into a full-on brawl over the keyboard, his knee bumping mine under the table, neither pulling away. When the printer jammed, he cursed, slamming the tray, and I placed a hand on his arm. Meant to steady, but it lingered. He froze, eyes flicking to mine, and the room tilted. Alex, what if? But the bell rang, janitor's warning, and we bolted, cheeks burning from more than the cold. That unspoken what-if haunted December. Arguments amped up in class, but now with undercurrents, stolen glances, excuses to partner on projects. Tyler cornered me again at the winter formal prep, streamers dangling like nooses in the gym. Invite him, idiot. Life's too short for what-ifs. Jordan was across the court, charming the decor committee, but his laugh sounded forced. I muttered something about friendship zones, but Tyler just shook his head. Friendship? That's not what I see in your sketches. He was right. My latest drawing, tucked in my locker, was Jordan mid-debate, fierce and unguarded, the lines softer than I'd admit. The formal came and went in a blur of bad punch and awkward slow dances. Jordan showed with Emily from Bio, all blonde perfection, but ditched her for our corner booth, sliding in beside me with a beer snuck from the parking lot. Truce, he offered, clinking bottles. We talked for hours, about escaping Elmwood, him dreaming of NYU journalism, me sketching comic strips for some Manhattan zine. You'd kill it in the city, he said, voice slurring just enough. No more hiding. Hiding. The word hung, and I pressed. From what? His gaze dropped to his hands. Everything. Everyone. Emily found him later, pouting, and he left with an apology glance my way. I nursed my drink alone, the what-if curdling into ache. New Year's loomed, but school dragged with finals fog. Our last debate, on identity in literature, turned personal. Characters like Dorian Gray hide to survive, Jordan argued, voice steady but eyes on me. Or they destroy themselves trying to be real. I countered, survival's overrated if it means lying to your own reflection. The bell rang mid-clap, and he caught my elbow in the hall. Coffee after? Neutral ground. Heart racing, I nodded. But fate, or Elmwood's petty gods, intervened. My mom called, shift emergency, and I biked home through gathering dusk, the invitation dying unspoken. Snow hit hard that January, blanketing the world in hush. Arguments simmered online now, group chat roasts over homework memes, but laced with memes of longing glances we'd never acknowledge. Tyler hosted a game night, his basement a haven of controllers and queer anthems low on the stereo. Jordan came solo, hoodie zipped high, and we teamed up on Mario Kart, elbows jostling, laughter easy until a bad lap had him tackling me onto the carpet in mock rage. Pinned, his weight familiar, breath mingling, time stuttered. Gotcha, he murmured, too soft, too close. Tyler cleared his throat from the couch, and Jordan rolled off, face flushed. Rematch, I croaked, ignoring the heat pooling low. The thaw brought rumors. Emily dumped Jordan publicly at lunch, tear-streaked accusations of emotional unavailability. The table buzzed, guys slapping his back with plenty more fish, girls shooting sympathetic smiles. He shrugged it off, but I saw the crack, the way he picked at his tray. After school, I found him by the bleachers, skipping stones across the frozen pond. Rough day. I sat beside him, our boots crunching snow. He exhaled, white plume in the air. She said I'm distant, like I'm saving myself for someone else. My pulse thundered. Are you? He turned, green eyes piercing. Maybe, if they'd just say it first. Silence stretched, taut as wire, until a teacher patrolled, and we scattered, the almost confession echoing. Valentine's week was torture, hearts plastered everywhere like accusations. Anonymous cards in lockers, mine blank, Jordan's piled high from admirers. We argued over the paper's love column, him advocating honest vulnerability, me scoffing romantic delusion. But privately, he slipped a sketchpad page into my bag, a quick pencil of us debating, labeled dynamic duo, foes or more. I confronted him in the art room, door ajar. What's this mean? He stepped close, paint-splattered smock brushing mine. Figure it out, Rivera. I'm tired of subtext. The bell saved us again, but that night, text flew. You started it. No, you did. Laughter emojis masking the pull. Spring teased with mud and melt, but our Cold War thawed unevenly. A GSA meeting, Jordan tagging along for the story, turned raw when a freshman shared his coming-out nightmare, family disowning him overnight. Jordan's jaw clenched. Later, in the parking lot, he admitted, my dad's the type. Expects legacy, varsity, valedictorian, wife by 25. I nodded, thinking of my mom's oblivious love, how she'd hug me tighter if she knew, or shatter. Mine'd probably bake pride cookies. But yeah, it's scary. He squeezed my shoulder, grip lingering. Worth it, though? For the right person. Prom loomed like a guillotine, tuxes, and expectations. Tyler pushed a double date. Him and his guy, us as brothers. Jordan agreed, eyes challenging. The night blurred, bad shrimp cocktails, thumping bass, Emily glaring from the punch bowl. We ditched early, cruising in his car to the overlook, city lights winking below. This place, he said, engine idling, feels like freedom. I turned, shadows playing on his face. Then why do we fight it? His hand found mine across the console, tentative. Because it's real. And real scares me. We didn't kiss, not yet, but the air hummed, possibilities blooming like fireflies. Summer scorched in, school out, but we clung to routines. Morning runs through dew-kissed fields, him pacing me as I lagged, teasing my artistic lungs. Arguments over playlists, his folk acoustics versus my grunge anthems, ended in shared earbuds, shoulders sinking. Tyler's pool parties became our escape, splashing wars masking stolen touches underwater. One dusk, grill smoke curling, Jordan pulled me aside by the fence. Alex, a phone buzzed, his dad, college apps due. Duty called, and he left with a frustrated wave. Fall senior year hit like a freight train, AP classes stacking like bricks. We roomed together for the history fair, late nights in the library, feet tangled under the table. Your timeline's biased, glossing over the scandals. I'd whisper, highlighter poised. He'd counter, leaning in, and yours mythologizes the heroes. Face it, we're all flawed. Flawed. The word echoed when I caught him staring at a photo of us from prom, thumb tracing my smile. Prejudices reared, school election, candidates spewing traditional values, code for hate. Our op-ed condemned it, anonymous threats scrawled on Jordan's locker. Fairy tales and bad. He laughed it off, but I saw the tremor. Thanksgiving break, family pressures peaked. Mine was quiet. Mom's turkey, her asking about that nice Hayes boy, oblivious. His? A minefield. He texted from the city, Dad's on about legacy again. Feels like a cage. I replied, break out. You're more than that. His call came at midnight. Come up? Train tickets on me. Impulsive, I went, crashing on his sister's couch in their Manhattan high-rise. The city pulsed, alive, and we wandered. Times Square neon, Central Park hush. Over hot dogs on a bench, he confessed, seeing you here. Makes sense. Like I could breathe. My heart flipped. Then why fight it back home? He looked away, skyline blurring. Because home's where it hurts most. Winter returned, snow earlier, heavier. Arguments reignited in class, but now with desperation. Each clash a plea. Tyler warned, you're dancing on glass. One slip and boom. But slips happened. A hug lingering too long in the hall. Whispers of queer agenda from jocks. Jordan's dad found the op-ed printout. Confrontation exploding over dinner. He called me sobbing from the driveway. He said I'm throwing away everything. For what? A phase. I drove over, headlights cutting fog, finding him huddled by the garage. It's not a phase. It's you. Arms around him. He clung, tears soaking my shirt. I wanted to be with you. The night of the blizzard, it culminated. School canceled, town buried. I texted, meet at the old bridge. He came, trudging through drifts, face pale under the hood. Alex, I told him. About us. Not details, but enough. Shock hit, then pride swelling. And wind howled, snow veiling us. He walked out. Said call when I'm straightened out. Devastation cracked his voice. I stepped closer, cupping his face. You're perfect, straight or not. Then, as if the storm willed it, he kissed me. Fierce, claiming, like fate rewriting our script. Snow-swirled witness, the world narrowing to us. But fate's no fairy tale. Aftermath crashed, his dad freezing him out, college funds yanked. Mine. Mom hugged me tearful. Knew you were special, Mijo. Tyler rallied. GSA bake sale for legal aid. Headlines we chased. Arguments? They morphed, now over futures. NYU's too far, I'd say. No, it's our escape, he'd counter. Prejudices lingered, town hall debates, glares at the diner, but we faced them tandem, hands linked under tables. Graduation dawned crisp, caps airborne like confetti. Jordan's speech, valedictorian nod reclaimed through grit, ended. Arguments aren't ends, they're beginnings. Fight for your truth. His eyes found mine in the crowd. College split us, me to Pratt for art, him NYU, but summers bridged, snowy nights eternal. 1 year on, under those same street lamps, he proposed with a sketch I'd drawn, us, intertwined. No more pretending, he said. I kissed him back, snow falling soft. Our story, still unfolding, full of clashes and caresses, but rooted in that kiss, like fate, unyielding. The summer after graduation blurred into a haze of part-time jobs and stolen weekends. But the real work began in those first weeks of college. I arrived at Pratt with a duffel of clothes, a portfolio bursting at the seams, and a knot in my stomach that Jordan's texts couldn't untie. Brooklyn buzzed like a live wire, street artists tagging walls, coffee shops spilling laughter onto sidewalks. But without him, it echoed hollow. Our calls were lifelines. Miss arguing over breakfast, he'd say, voice crackling from the dorm line. I'd laugh, you mean losing? But underneath, the distance gnawed, a new kind of tension. Jordan thrived at NYU, debate club pulling him into late-night strategy sessions, his voice sharpening on podcasts about queer rights. They're radical here, he enthused one night, FaceTime glowing on my laptop as rain pattered my window. No tiptoeing. Envy flickered. I sketched furiously black and white panels of fractured identities, but my profs called it raw, unresolved. Unresolved. That's what Tyler said when he visited, crashing on my futon with his boyfriend, Marcus, all easy affection and inside jokes. You two are like a graphic novel waiting for the plot twist. Talk it out, man. Tyler, now studying theater at Fordham, had his act together, roles in off-Broadway queer space plays, a network of found family. Me? I dodged the campus GSA, haunted by Elmwood's ghosts. Home for Labor Day, the town felt smaller, judgmental eyes sharper. Jordan's dad had thawed fractionally, awkward barbecues where he'd grunt approvals over my art hustle, but the chill lingered. Mom, ever the rock, stuffed me with empanadas and advice. Love's like sketching, Mijo, layer by layer, no erasers. We drove to the Overlook that weekend, Jordan's hand on the gear shift, mine covering it. Feels weird, being back, he admitted, stars pricking the sky. Like we're visitors in our own story. I squeezed. Or rewriting the sequel. The kiss that followed was slower, surer, but a text buzzed. His advisor, syllabus panic, and reality intruded. Fall deepened, leaves carpeting campuses in crunch. Arguments resurfaced via video. Him buried in poli-sci papers, me raging over a critique that shredded my thesis on queer invisibility in comics. It's too autobiographical, the prof said. Jordan, scrolling my drafts, pushed, lean in. That's your power. Easy for you. Words bend, mine scar. I snapped, screen freezing mid-glare. Silence stretched days, apologies in voice notes. Sorry, stress talking. Tyler mediated, group chat therapy, spill, boys. We did. Misunderstandings piling like autumn drifts. Thanksgiving split us. Me to Elmwood, him to a friend's vegan potluck in the village. Mom's table overflowed, cousins quizzing my city glow. Tyler crashing with tales of his latest audition flop. Rejection's the villain, he toasted. But we rewrite the arc. Jordan's call came late, tipsy on mulled wine. Wish you were here. This crowd, they get it, but it's not. Us. Ache bloomed. Next year, together. Promise sealed, but doubt crept. Were we drifting? Arguments now oceans apart? Winter break collided us in Manhattan. His dorm a nest of textbooks and takeout boxes. We wandered holiday markets, mitten hands swinging, steaming cider warming palms. Look, he said, pointing to a stall of hand-bound journals. For your next graphic novel. Inside, pages crisp, I envisioned us. Panels of clashes evolving to embraces. But shadows loomed. His dad emailed. Proud, son, but focus. Distractions derail. Distractions. Me. That night. Bundled on the fire escape. Snow-dusting ledges. Jordan confessed. He means well, but it stings. Like I'm the flaw. I pulled him close. You're the plot twist he never saw coming. Spring semester stormed in. Midterms maelstrom. My exhibit opening. Raw ink strokes of hidden loves. Drew a crowd. Jordan sneaking the train upstate for the night. Stunning. He whispered amid wine sippers, his pride lighting the dim gallery brighter than spotlights. But envy reversed. His debate tourney invite to nationals. Weeks of prep clashing my deadlines. Arguments flared texts. Why prioritize that over us? Because it's my shot. Yours too, if you'd see. Guilt gnawed. Tyler's words echoed. Fight smart, not hard. Summer bridged, interning tandem at a queer lit mag in the city. Me illustrating covers, him fact-checking features. Office banter revived our spark. This piece on by erasure? Too soft. I'd critique over lunch falafel. Needs teeth, like your cartoons. Laughter flowed, but tensions simmered. Editor favoring his pitches, my designs edgy but niche. One humid evening, rooftop happy hour, rain threatening, he pulled me aside. We're good at this. Us against the world. Kiss under gathering clouds. Thunder rumbling approval. Fall senior year. Wait, junior now. Intensified. Campus protests erupted. Anti-LGBTQ bills snaking through Albany. Jordan dove in, organizing rallies. I chronicled with sketches Liv tweeted. Hero complex. I teased, charcoal smudged from a sign-making sesh. Realism, he shot back, paint on his cheek. But danger edged. Counter-protesters heckling, a slashed tire on his bike. Fear coiled. Mom's calls pleaded caution. Hearts heal, bodies don't. Yet we pushed, unbreakable. Holidays hit jagged. His family dinner devolved into quiet jabs. That Rivera kid influencing you? Him defending with clipped grace. Mine? Warm chaos. But his absence hollowed it. New Year's, we rang in at Tyler's. Fireworks bursting over the Hudson. To plot twists, Tyler clinked, Marcus' arm around him. Jordan's gaze held mine. And happy endings. Midnight kiss, crowd cheering, but whispers of future forks. Grad school apps, his law dreams versus my indie press pull. Winter gripped, snow paralyzing trains. Arguments peaked over a feature he wrote. Praised, but accused of tokenizing trans voices. You didn't consult enough, I accused, voicemail sharp. His reply, I tried. You're projecting your fears. Days of radio silence, Tyler bridging. He's spiraling, tourney stress, dad pressure. Reconnect. We did. Coffee in neutral Queens, apologies melting ice. I need you as anchor, not critic, he admitted. Ditto, I said, hands linking across foam cups. Spring bloomed defiant, cherry blossoms defiant against late frosts. My thesis show, Clashes and Kisses, a Queer Chronicle, featured us veiled in metaphor, Jordan's forward eloquent. Opening night, his dad showed, suit stiff, nodding terse at abstracts. Later, in the alley, cigarette flickering, he pulled Jordan aside. I eavesdropped unintended. Proud, son. Even if I don't get it. Thaw. Tears in Jordan's eyes post-hug. Progress. Summer post-grad loomed. internships morphing to full-time offers. Mine, junior designer at a Brooklyn studio. His, paralegal at a nonprofit suing for marriage equality. Celebratory dinner, candlelit Italian, toasts to our empire. But undercurrents, relocation talks, his DC whisper for law school. Long distance again. I probed. Not if we plan. Optimism flickered, but doubt shadowed. Fall post-college whirlwind. Apartments hunted, leases signed. Mine Bushwick walk up, his village studio, bridges short. Arguments domestic now. Whose turn for dishes, whose Netflix queue. Tyler's wedding, elopement party in the park. Reminded, love's work. Vows exchanged under arches, we slow danced after, his breath warm. That's us, soon. Heart soared. Winter circled back, anniversary snowy eve. Bridge revisit, drifts deep, he knelt. Ring simple, silver band etched with our initials intertwined. Marry me? Fights and all. Laughter tears, yes. Every clash. Kiss sealed, fate reaffirmed, snow blessing our forever. Yet proposals don't erase scars, they illuminate them. The engagement buzzed friends, Tyler's whoops, mom's tamales feast, but Jordan's dad demurred, rushed son. Think legacies. Prejudices, familial edition. We planned anyway. Small ceremony, Central Park spring, sketches for invites. Workdays blurred, my panels gaining traction in zines, his briefs stacking wins in court. Arguments? Over guest lists, Uncle Ted's a bigot. Family's family. Tension simmered, unspoken. Spring wedding prep collided with crises. Tyler's play off-Broadway. Queer retelling of Romeo and Jay. Cast me as understudy Mercutio. Rehearsals stealing nights. Jordan griped. Our time's shrinking. Art waits for no vow. I countered, script lines blurring our pillow talk. Misunderstanding festered. He skipped a fitting for a deposition. I bailed rehearsal for his late brief. Texts iced. Prioritize us. I am, can't you see? Climax cracked open at the bachelor party. Tyler's bash. Rooftop bar. Skyline toasting. Beers flowed. Stories spilled. Marcus pulled me aside. He's scared, Alex. Dad's silence echoes. Later, Jordan cornered, buzzed. You get it. Fighting for this? Push led to shove. Verbal. Heated. Always the martyr. And you're the pleaser. Staggered home separate. Silence deafening. Dawn apology call. I lash because I love too hard. Meet at the bridge. Pre-dawn hush. Tears thawed. We're flawed heroes. Recommit. Hands clasped. Wedding day bloomed. Vows under blossoms. Tyler officiating with flair. In clashes, we find truth. Rings exchanged. Kiss cheered. Dad in back row clapping hesitant. Honeymoon upstate cabin. Lake mirror calm. Days kayaking. Nights fireside stories. Our Elmwood origins retold as epic. Arguments light. Your paddlings, all fury. Yours technique sans soul. Laughter healed. Back to city grind. Marriage and new rhythm. My first solo exhibit. Faded fights. Sold out. Jordan beaming front row. His promotion. Lead on landmark case. But shadows. Infertility talks whispered. Adoption dreams clashing timelines. Bio kids. Societal pressure, he vented. Or found family, like us, I soothed. Fall deepened commitments. Therapy tandem, unpacking dad wounds. Sessions raw. I fear disappointing. I fear losing you to it. Breakthroughs bonded deeper. Winter anniversary, snow dancing. We revisited school. Elmwood empty, halls echoing. Here we started, he said, hand in mine. And here we thrive. Kiss under old street lamp. Fate's loop closing, opening anew. Years layered. Tyler's Tony nod. Our godkid born by a surrogate, little Jamie, curls like Jordan's. Arguments evolved. PDA battles over inclusive books, wins hard fought. Prejudices waned town-wide. Our story catalyst. Speeches at GSA revivals. Panels on resilient love. One snowy night, a decade on, Jamie asleep, we slow-danced kitchen, radio crooning. Still argue. I teased. Every day, he grinned. Keeps it real. Kiss like first, fierce, faded. Our drama? Unending, beautiful. But life's not linear, epilogues twist. Jamie's toddler tantrums tested us. Sleepless nights, blame games. You spoil him. You snap too quick. Tyler mediated playdates. His divorce fresh ink. Even stars fall. Reminder, nurture the spark. Career crescendos. My graphic novel deal, Clashbound. Our tale veiled, topping charts. Jordan's Booker, TED Talk viral on queer advocacy. Accolades poured, but isolation crept. Friends coupling off. Us in bubble. Wednesday night. Marcus nudged, single again, crashing dinners. Spring surprise. Jamie's preschool flagged, family drawings. 2 dads, rainbow house. Pride swelled, but whispers from concerned parents echoed old bigotries. PDA clash. Jordan's speech, measured fire. Love's form varies. Hates the constant foe. Backlash emails, but allies rallied. Tyler's op-ed salvo. Summer road trip, RV rambling coast. Big Sur Cliffs, Route 66 diners. Arguments scenic. Scenic routes detour. Adventures the point. Laughter won, bonds reforged. Fall fertility quest. Adoption agency hoops. Home studies probing. Are we stable? Doubts voiced. Therapist. Stability's verb, not noun. Classes bonded. Other couples' stories mirroring ours. Winter holidays. Jamie's first snowman. Lopsided joy. Dad's visit thawed fully. Grandpa tales. Cookies baked. You built good, he conceded. Healing hummed. New year. Agency call. Match. 6-year-old Mia. Foster shuffle survivor. Homecoming chaos. Bunk beds built. Stories shared. Arguments parental. Screen time rules. Flexibility fosters. Teamwork triumphed. Years accelerated. Mia's braces grins. Jamie's soccer goals. Our duo dynamic? Triad, then quartet. Love multiplied. Tyler's remarriage. Beach vows we witnessed. To second acts. One eve. Teens now. Kids Abed. We poured old sketches. First kiss panel faded. Still fate. Jordan asked. Evolving, I replied. Kiss reaffirmed, endless. Decade flipped to 2. Empty nest looming, Mia college-bound artist like me, Jamie poli-sci echo of Jordan. Arguments nostalgic. Kids flew too fast. We launched them well. Travels filled voids. European rambles, Tokyo temples. Tyler's Broadway run, front row cheers. Career pivots. My teaching gig, Pratt adjunct inspiring queers. Jordan's nonprofit helm, policy shifts. Prejudices? National tides turned, but local eddies swirled. Bills targeting trans youth. Advocacy reignited. Rallies, amicus briefs. Crisis crested summer. Health scare. Jordan's routine check, shadow on scan. Waiting rooms, handholds. Fight like we always do. Benign, biopsy clear, but fear reshaped. Priorities realigned, bucket lists dusted. Fall renewal. Vow refresh, intimate. Tyler's script, Park Pavilion. Through clashes, ceaseless. Rings reapplied, tears tonic. Winter wisdom. Mentorships bloomed. GSA guest spots. Elmwood return. Kids home holidays. Grandkids teased. Legacies love. Dad echoed, frail now. Snowy night. Bridge pilgrimage. From here, Jordan mused. Kiss eternal. Fate's full circle.